What's up? Black men must condemn a culture of self destruction in the black community. Now, I'm not even going to come from a place of religion or God or even morality in a sense. You can purely, outside of all those things, just look logically and look what's going to help us versus what's going to hurt us in the black community with black men. Now, when you see the ripple effect, when you see rappers and when you see people who promote the culture of self destruction in the black community, we don't understand how much influence they have. And then that little black boy wants to be a rapper. He wants to be a thug. He wants to be a killer. Why? Because he thinks that's cool and that's being glorified in the community. So he thinks that that is cool and that's something to be. That's something to look up to. And the problem with that is that's how people die. That's how innocent people die. That's how your mind becomes self-destructive, where you destroy yourself, but you don't even know it because you think it's cool and your culture accepts it. And I'm not sitting here saying everything in the black community is self-destructive, but I would say that there is a huge portion of it that is self-destructive that we have to come in and change that and take that out and replace it with a culture of prospering, a culture of going up, a culture of us helping each other and thriving in every area of life. And I'm not sitting here and saying the music has to become some hideous music. No, but when you rap or when you talk about black people and you want to glorify things in the black community, make the black man sound good. Make the black man sound like a real leader. Make the black man be somebody who's in control. Make the black man look like a creator, not a slave, and not self-destructive, where he destroys his community instead of building up his community. And I believe that we have to have more men going against that. And I think that even outside of a religious context, we can be for that, right? Because I'm not a guy just trying to push religion and God down people's throats. I would say look from a logical perspective of what's helping us and what's hurting us. When we go after being a player or being promiscuous, we don't understand the ripple effect of that, where you create a dysfunctional family where you might have a single mother, and then that child grows up in an environment where they don't have what they need. They don't have what they need to thrive emotionally, to be confident in themselves, to know how to do certain things, right? A lot of times when the people in the black community, the men in the black community become sexually perverse and they just sleep with any woman, that's how you find a lot of kids who have emotional problems. They have problems where they're going to create more dysfunctional families from their father creating a dysfunctional family. And we have to understand how much the youth matters in raising kids, and that all ties back to a man's control over his sexual energy and his sexual desires. Because when a man can control his sexual desires, now he can step back into that mentality of doing what's right for him versus what's doing what's wrong for him, and he can be logical, reasonable, and rational. And when a man is constantly in this rational state, in this logical state, he's gonna choose what's best for him. And when you have a man and a woman in the household and they really love each other and they are properly raising that child and being emotionally available to that child, we don't understand that that plays so much into the future man or woman that that child is going to be. And this is something that's just very important. And I'm not sitting here saying that uh a man has to kind of close himself off. A man is trying to like he has to suppress himself. No, don't suppress yourself, right? But act in a way where you do things that serve you, do things that benefit you, and don't get caught up in the short term benefit. Get caught up in the long term benefit. What's really going to benefit you in the long run and the entirety of things. That's the thing we have to that's the thing we have to focus on nowadays. When you look at a lot of things, we promote uh being sexually immoral. We promote men being promiscuous. We promote women being promiscuous, right? Those are things that are accepted in a community. And now, if you're a guy that says, okay, no, I want to find a wife, I want to find somebody that I really care about. Oh, you corny, you lame, oh, you gay, right? Or you find a woman who maybe may, be worse. Okay, she want to find a wife. Other girls will probably pick on that girl, right? Because that's the thing what we don't understand. It's so many things that we have to condemn, so many things we have to push back on, not because God says so, which God does say so, but because we obviously see that that's hurting our community, and that's what's keeping us in a low state where we can't really rise and be sovereign and have power in the community, but in the world. Because these are not just things that are small little problems. These are things that are going to affect us worldwide. And that's not even just in the United States. I remember I spoke to a guy some time ago, probably a couple months ago. He was from Africa, and he explains, like, he was explaining to me that there were very like similar experiences we've had, and how people act towards you when you want to be somebody, when you want to do things that are good for you, right? And so overall, as a black man, we have to understand, we have to build a culture where it's prosperous, where it's helping us go up. We see, you can look at other communities of people, and when they have a prosperous culture, those people prosper, those people rise, those people are strong people, right? We don't have that because we don't care about each other. We we accept a culture where it's good for us to be criminals, it's good for us to be promiscuous, it's good for us to be violent, and those are things that are really hurting us. And we have to really sit back and condemn those things and push back against those things. And I know there's a lot of men out there who will never push back on it, right? And that's a sad truth. There's a lot of men who are gonna come at me and then say, okay, I'm corny, I'm lame, I'm this and I'm that, and a lot of these dudes do things just for the approval and the validation of a girl. And I understand that, right? Because I've been like that too. And I'm not perfect to this day. I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect man. But one thing I won't do is see where we're going down, and then people are going to just go along with that. I'm not going to just go along with that, because I really want to see us be at a place where we're thriving, not where we're surviving, and not where we are self destructing. So that's all I got to say. Peace out.